Anthony, do you have anything to tell us?
Yes, what's black and white and green?
What is that?
And my wife having sex on the lawn with a colored. Oh, yeah.
What is...
Yeah, this is Sam Kinison. Hey, Jack, you want
I was trying to fit everything in.
stuff with me, man? We'll, go out there with the Outlaws, have some fun.
Where's the money? Where's the money? Green. I love green. Green money. Green weed. Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's hysterical.
Hey, what are you, a professional comedian or something?
Yeah, that's right, Howard. How you been, buddy?
Hey,
I've been
good to
dead
see
for
you.
quite a while.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
a good
you know, stuff in
Kinison,
your body,
man.
taking you out on tour, you're much easier to work with
Yeah,
now.
that's true. I was pretty obnoxious there. You know, it's not too good being dead. Those Christ jokes not going over too well these days.
Boy, he's good. He might look odd, but he's good. That's the kid. You do Beavis?
This is like the dumbest contest I've ever done and stuff. This sucks.
Go back to your Kinnison. All right. What's your name, Anthony?
You're stupid.
What's your last name?
Anthony Cumia.
And you're not a professional, are you?
Shut up.
I work on the Opie Show on WBAB.
Is that right? What is
Yeah.
the Opie show?
It's Opie, 7 to midnight, WBAB.
I don't even know what that is.
Try to get Opie's plug in.
That sort of does your show. Night. He takes a lot of phone calls.
Why does
and
he always
outrageous.
have to go
He's
there?
a young guy.
Always.
Big fan.
Night, you're a big
Jesus.
fan of yours. Big fan.
Well,
No
obviously.
He does your show, he takes phone
Meanwhile,
calls.
you do a great Jackie. That's all I can say.
Thank you.
Why was he wearing a Santa outfit? Was it around Christmas?
Yeah,
Don't
it
you think
was.
it's weird that there's a radio guy named Opie?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of weird things going on in radio, quite frankly.
Oh, yeah.
You're sitting in a Santa suit,
Jackie
Howard.
number 2 here. That,
He's sitting in a Santa suit.
There's a lot of weird things going on in radio.
It's
God
funny.
bless you, Jackie.
Yeah.
And you're wearing a carrot as a nose that day.
You know what? I feel
I guess
bad
it was some
that I
kind of
don't remember
Christmas show,
Anthony
like,
coming in, and I'm
that
looking
was-
at Howard in a Santa suit, and I'm wearing a carrot on my
carrot
nose,
nose.
and I don't remember that. So
Yeah,
that's,
you were the-
I
you
don't
were
feel
a
so bad
snowman.
about, you know.
I think you were the snowman or something, so you had a
Oh.
carrot nose.
I don't remember him ever being in a Santa suit. What planet was it? 1994.
Oh,
that
that's
was
94.
That was
man.
the
That's
old
16 years
studio,
ago.
too. That was the
Yeah.
studio before you guys moved.
That was the peak.
Wow, that was, goddamn. I sure had
That
a
was the
lot
peak
of
of the
hair
show.
going
That
on.
was the peak of my drinking. Yeah, was that a wig or is that your?
No, that
that's
was
you?
me for fucking. I was in a band at the time and used to come out on stage just and tease out that afro like a Earth, Wind, and
Dude,
Fire.
it looks like you have a penis on you.
I
Yeah, it is
know.
like, I think it might be a dick nose. And,
I say it's a carrot, but I don't know about
no,
that.
I think it's a penis
Is that
nose.
a dildo?
Probably, and they had a fisheye lens, so I looked so horrible on that E show because it was one of those,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
in your
wide
face.
angle.
My nose looked like it almost looked that big.
Very wide angle there.
That was very funny though.
That was a while ago. Holy
He accused
shit.
you of being a professional comedian. Did you hear
I
that?
know. Well,
You killed.
I was a tin knocker.
That's a
You
great,
were, right?
Construction worker.
I love how you're trying to shoehorn every impression in 2 seconds.
Everything.
It was an
was
audition. Who are you
I
kidding?
was like, come on. This is one of my shots I'm getting here.
Yeah.
Jesus
It
Christ.
worked. You were
Gotta do
great.
something.
Good Kinnison.
Yeah, that was.
I miss Kinnison.
I used to do that. I used to call in from my work truck as Kinnison, and I got on the air a few times
Really?
when I did that. And then I guess somebody else started doing it. And that was
Craig
it for me.
Gass does
Yeah,
an
yeah.
amazing. You know Craig,
That was
right?
it, Craig.
His fucking Kinnison, man.
Yeah,
is
really
frightening.
good.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
He's a great impressionist. The one he
yeah,
does,
he is.
Gene and Paul, back and forth.
Oh, really?
Dude,
Oh, I gotta hear
he's
that.
a funny fuck. Craig Gass.
Gene and Paul back.
He does Gene and Paul.
Who does that?
And I heard Gene hated that he did him. Of
Oh,
course,
I bet. Of
'cause he
course.
sounds just like him.
Gene is so goddamn conceited.
Yeah, but he
How
does
could anyone?
Paul. He just captures Paul Stanley.
Does he?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Craig's funny.
we don't have JB Smoove after all. What happened?
What
We canceled?
happened? We're
We don't
too,
know.
too white a show.
Can I be
No,
an
he's
idiot? Who is that?
He's on.
Yeah, he's on.
Was never confirmed?
All right, so we thought it was.
Yes.
Is it a rapper? Is it a rapper? I'm gonna go out on a limb.
No, he's a great comedian. He's on Curb Your
Let
Enthusiasm.
me leave you with this.
Which guy is he on Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Black guy, the black guy, Leon.
He's really? I was gonna meet Leon.
Yeah.
You motherfucker, where are you?
I don't know what happened.
You know who he is?
That's some weird shit, Larry.
He's a funny fucking dude.
And
man.
that's how you.
That's so funny.
Where's Steve today? Tony in Brooklyn.
What
Now-
did I miss? See inside
I'm
jokes. You're a
sorry.
prick. You're a prick.
That's
You know how shit goes on sometimes.
As long as the
around
inside
here.
joke's not about you, don't worry about it.
well,
You'll be okay.
I'm making sure.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
Tony has a question for you.
Wait, I have a new phrase. No.
Tony in Brooklyn. Now, Jackie, because we're friends, if any of these questions are too much, you just tell me. Please. I'm not going to do that to you. Tony in Brooklyn. This one's an easy one, though. Tony, go ahead.
Please.
Hey, Jackie, whatever happened to Billy West? He was probably made your show the best when it was...
Billy West is the king of the voiceover guys.
Oh, yeah.
He does many of the voices on Futurama that was just renewed for 3 years, and I was with that prick when he got the call. We were sitting there eating dinner in Los Angeles, and he takes a phone call, and he goes, oh, good. And what was that? Oh, we just got renewed for 3 years, and it was, what's his name, calling him personally, the creator. And... he's the Red M&M, and he's phenomenal. And I'm making a documentary, and he's going to, do some on-air stuff with the documentary.
He's also the bee on one of the cereal commercials.
You walk down the cereal aisle, and he goes, that's me, that's me, that's me. We had him did a show about 3 or 4 months ago at the record collector store down in Bordentown, and we just sat there and shot the shit, and the audience was like spellbound for, and all I did was sit there. I was in the audience. I was sitting next to him, poking him with a question here and there, and he would go behind the curtain and say a voice, and then he'd come out, as an old black guy, or he came out this guy, that guy, Marge Schott, whatever. And he's so talented. He's one of those guys that you could only be with him a little while, and you got to get out of the room because you get a headache. And then all of a sudden somebody brings in a guitar, and the guy plays guitar better than anybody that you ever met. It's like, when the fuck did he learn to do that?
I don't know, Billy. Man. I met him. I've never met him. And we were supposed to interview him at Comic-Con. Pat, we talked to him on the phone. I really wanted to meet him. But he had left the table by the time we got there, and then there was just a fuck up with the scheduling. So we're like, all right, next time. But I really wanted to meet him. He's a fucker.
We had him on the show once. He was great.
Really funny guy.
He did a mockumentary about Comic-Con with my friend Eric Middleman. That was, the people just go nuts for him. He's one of those guys you don't see him that often, but he just.
You think he's rich from voiceover work?
He has to take a fucking wheelbarrow to the mailbox. You know what I mean? He's just a good cat, a real good cat, straight shooter. He's one of those guys that was drunk on his ass the whole time.
I don't go for that.
When he was on BCN back in the 90s, and he escaped to New York, and boom, went through the roof.
Wow. Yeah,
and when he was on the show, he'd be sitting behind me and Fred, and we'd be winging notes, and he'd be going 1,000,000 miles an hour. But it was strange because he was in back of us, so we couldn't pass the notes to Howard, so Howard could okay him. And Billy was a 500-pound gorilla. So you had to be very careful what you wrote, because if you wrote 3 cunts walked into a bar, he would read it, because he's going too fast to edit. So Fred's handing me stuff, and I'm handing stuff, and trying to put it in order, and I just wish there was video. He was just frightened. And Al Michaels would come in, and Billy would do Al Michaels, and he'd say outrageous stuff as Al Michaels, and Al would say, that's not me, and he'd say, it is me, that's not me.
He had to keep saying, that wasn't me.
It was so unbelievable. It was so dead on. Now pull that up, Danny. What the fuck are you doing?
How long was he on the show?
I think 4 years, 3 years.
A while, okay.
That's
I'm not sure. He started. He came on for a little bit, and then a while longer, and he was on 2 days, 3. I forget exactly.
One of the most famous things ever, and still hysterical to listen to, is the Larry Fine
at Woodstock. I can still, you don't remember much. I still remember being in Howard's office writing that, because we were falling down. The first time he said, as Larry. Jimmy, I can't do Larry. Jimmy, set your guitar on fire. Mo was tripping. Oh, God,
It was so good. And then Allison Steele's voice on it, so it was perfect.
Lent it
It was it, yeah. Is that it?
Very few people realize that most groups appearing at the Woodstock Festival did not make it into the Woodstock movie. Artists such as Leslie West and Mountain, Creedence Clearwater Revival, and the Jefferson Airplane. But the most glaring error was the omission of Larry Fine of the Three Stooges, whose backstage contributions were the backbone of the festival.
Oh boy, this is beautiful. It's beautiful. Hey, who is that ugly broad? Janet Joplin? I wouldn't f*** her with Shemp's.
Yes, Larry Fine was feeling no pain.
Hey, Mo, I'm getting dizzy. What's hashish?
It wasn't long before the crowd was won over by Larry as he led them in the infamous rain chant.
Hey, come on, you ass. Sing. It's raining out. We gotta make it stop raining.
Larry got to know stars like Jimi Hendrix.
Hey, Jimmy, is it my imagination, or has Santana's drummer been taking a solo for a day and a half? Hey, man, Larry, you are sore. Thanks, Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy, who's the darky with the needle in his arm? That's my good friend. We experiment with drugs together.
Larry was asked to make several stage announcements, which wasn't so easy because he was drunk.
Oh, please don't eat the brown asses. I'm warning you. Please get off those towers. I had long hair before any of you jerk-offs. Get on off those towers, you hard-ons. Don't eat the brown asses. I'm warning you. And somebody find me a whore.
Larry advised many of the up-and-coming stars like Country Joe and the Fish.
Hey, Mr. Fine, excuse me, you got a minute? Hey, Country, how you doing? Hey, what are you and the Fishes gonna do when you get out on stage? Oh, man, I don't know what to do. I got no ideas. I got it. Why don't you go out there and spell Hey, man, great idea. Now get out there before I take an axe handle to your colon.
Country was truly inspired.
Give me an F. Go for it, Country. Give me a U. Hey, don't forget the K at the end.
Larry doubted his usefulness at Woodstock, but he soon realized he was an integral part of the festival. In one of Larry's last recorded interviews, he spoke in great detail about the 3 days of peace and love.
What do you remember about Woodstock?
Well, I felt out of place until I saw Shana Na. I said to Mo, let's trip. We have nothing to lose. I tie-dyed my hair.
Was there alcohol abuse?
Oh, yes. I started drinking when I heard Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
To this day, if you listen to Crosby, Stills, and Nash, you can hear faintly in the background a drunken Larry Fine singing along with the group.
Getting to the point where I'm no fun anymore.
Larry Fine, not just one of the Three Stooges, but an integral part of the Woodstock Festival.
Mo gave Jimmy the lighter fluid idea for lighting the guitar.
So you take credit for that?
Yeah, I said let the Schwarzer light himself on fire and his stupid guitar.
Are you bitter about Woodstock?
Bitter? Hell yeah. Those verkackte schnooks at Warner Brothers stiffed me on the movie deal for Woodstock.
Larry Fine, the forgotten stooge. I'm Allison Steele with another Woodstock Minute.
That's
You know,
fucking good
people
writing.
have told me,
genius, man.
people have told me they've listened to stuff and their faces hurt from
Yeah,
laughing.
yeah.
And I always thought it was an expression, and my face literally hurts right now.
Every second of that is hysterically
I have not
funny,
heard
man.
that in 20. Oh my
Wow.
God, that's beautiful.
I've never heard that.
Oh,
It's fucking
it's
really
great,
funny.
isn't it? I remember the first time I heard that. I literally, when people call in a radio show and say, I can't drive, I almost crashed, I had to pull over because I was laughing so hard. I'm missing half of it.
They pull up in front of the tunnel so they don't lose the lose the signal.
It was just
Round of applause for
hysterical.
Billy West.
Yeah, Billy.
Also,
Holy
Ren and
fuck.
Stimpy, obviously.
Ren and
That was-
Stimpy.
well, he later, kind of altered that voice a little for Stimpy, yeah. Oh, my
Stimpy,
God,
right.
that is so funny.
Fuck.
I tie-dyed my hair. I had long hair before any of you hard.
My favorite line,
it's
before
great.
I take an axe handle to your colon.
I knew that
Before
would be
I
your favorite.
take an axe handle to your colon.
But the signature line is, I'm warning you.
Yeah. Get off those towers. I'm warning
I'm
you.
warning you.
I'm warning you.
You know, the first time he came on the show, and they said, well, you know, Howard probably said, you know, what impressions do you do? And I think he said Larry Fine. And I remember myself in my head, because you watch the Three Stooges, like, well, there's nothing distinguishable about that. What is it?
Till you
It's a-
hear
and then he
someone
does
do
it, and
it.
it's like,
Holy shit.
who knew that it was that much of a caricature? Like, and how did I miss it? You know, it's so
Yeah.
distinct.
Yeah.
You know, one word, and you know,
What years were you on the show?
I worked for free from 1983 to 1986, one day a week, and then
At
we went to
NBC.
mornings. They went to mornings in '86, and I was on 2 days a week, and then I stopped going on the road, and within a month or so, I was on 5 days a week, and I left in 2001. So 15 years as head writer, and
You've
3
been
years
gone
for free
9
before
years
that.
already?
Holy shit.
I marched forth on March 4th of 2001. People talk the way people talk. It's like it was yesterday.
I know.
You know.
Wow, that's crazy.
9 years later, people go, hey, miss you on the show. It wasn't yesterday. It was 9 years ago. But there's so much best of and
Time
stuff,
fucking
you know.
flies.
You know.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You're
this
still
time
well
flies on by.
represented on the show.
Yeah, it's great fun.
Know who's great is Fred. He lives in Jimmy's building. He's my neighbor because I lived next to him. What a great guy.
Great character.
Solid dude, man. Solid.
Yeah.
So talented. I've always said in every interview, he's maybe the funniest, fast.